basically, I am back on OpCraft, and you know, it's been a long time coming. I was banned for a long time, but then the bans got reset, so I got on there again. And I'm not new. This is not going to be a new series or anything. I've been actually playing for a while, and we've been getting our base done. The fuck is this? I never noticed this. Anyways, yeah, we've been getting our base done, so it's it's looking pretty nice. Now, me and Tyler 2K Wheel are the only ones that are going to be doing this series. Now, you guys can obviously join our faction. If you see this episode and you guys are like, yeah, I want to join the faction, be aware that you will not be able to join the actual base itself, but we will offer protection. We will give you, like, stuff. We'll, just help you out whenever you need it. So, we are going to be playing on classic factions. That is what I'm playing on currently, and here I am. So, you might be wondering, what is this? Well, this is our IG farm. Now, our last one was way under the ground, and it had no protection really, and we decided to make a Titan base. Now, this Titan base isn't done yet because we haven't genned any walls yet, but the reason why I'm actually just making this before our base is done is because there was a little event that happened where a creeper just blew the shit out of our chest and blew up all our IGs that we had in our chest, and boom, we are down to like 8 now. We went from like 50 to 8, so good fight. Now, we have no money really, so all the money that I had left, I'm putting into the base just to kind of make it look nice and presentable. Now, I need to, your guys' opinions. Do you think this base looks decent? And do you think that the design and, the work I put into it seems to pay off? Okay, so basically, each double chest will generate you about 50 to 60,000 per harvest. So, if you think about it that way, you can easily, be able to see that the amount of chests that I have is going to be phenomenal when it comes to how much money this thing's going to pay out. Now, I have... Let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll go down here. 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's an 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 8 by 16 is... Oh god, I don't know fucking math. But 16 times 8, huh? I don't know, like 86, 80, over 125, let's say. Alright, let's say just over 125. So, let's say 150. Let's just go with that. 150, it's probably way off. It's probably way out of the ballpark, but I don't really care. Let's just say 150. So, 150 times whatever it is, 60,000. I don't even know. In the millions. I'll actually figure all of that out. And I will post that, like how much it'll actually make per night, in the description. Just in case you guys want to build like a super grinder. I call this a super grinder because this is what I consider a super grinder would be like. Now, it's hella dark and I can't see shit. But it's all good. So, I hope the music in the background is not too loud. I don't really care if you guys don't like this song, to be honest, because I like it. Anyways, so let's see. Damn, so I'm going to stop making the hoppers right now. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the design that I made. So this is a storage chest for, before you sell your iron, because obviously you come into your base and you have, your pick, your sword, your whatever you have in your inventory. So then you just dump it in this chest, and then you can go ahead and sell it, and it'll be right here. You don't have to dig around in the other chest to find it. Here's extra anvils, because we all love our anvils, and we always run out, and then when you do, you always have to go to the shop, or you always have to make more. But since you have iron here, I bought these at the shop, but since you have iron here, you can easily make like 20, maybe a stack of them, and then boom, you have extras whenever you need them. Now, this bottom layer right here is, I also love how they introduce banners to the game, because I've been just taking advantage of these things and just making them look really cool. Now, here we have a raid storage bank. Basically what that is if you're in a raid and you don't want to clutter up clutter the hell out of your chest. All you do is you have what? How much is this? 2, 4, 6, 8. This is 8 chests, 8 dubs, which is a typical raid. How much you would get from a typical raid, or maybe even 2 dubs is how much you would get. Because you're not gonna do what Icy does and fucking take dirt and sticks. You're gonna take only the good items, only the items that you're actually going to want to use. But basically, you just store them in here, and then whenever you're done with the raid, then you can go back and take the items out of the chest and then go put them in your vault. And this right here is the bottom layer of the iron golem farm or whatever, because I'm not going to do any protection on these, because honestly, if somebody gets in here, they're going to do anything they can to get everything they can out. And having to put protection on these would be really stupid. So the water down here, I like the glass because the water you can see, and I don't know, it kind of brings out detail, I guess. But down here, we have a simple brewing stand set up. Basically, I'm not gonna go crazy and make like auto brewers and all that shit, because honestly, I think this looks pretty nice, especially with the flags or whatever you would call these banners. But yeah, I haven't really put anything in these chests yet. I just got this I just started on this last night, and I woke up this morning and, you know, started working on it a little bit. But I originally had stone pressure plates, but then I put iron because I think it just looks more like it pops out. But the stone kind of, I don't know, really just blends in. I didn't really care for that a whole lot. So how these chests work are, since creeper eggs are extremely hard to get, so somebody's going to have to blast in from the side and get in, which is going to be very difficult because we have a lot of water layers. But if somebody blasts in, we're going to get raided. That's just bottom line. So I'm not really worried about defense in here, but I am not going to make it super easy for anybody either. So what I have here is a simple chest system where you would have your redstone block on this side and a redstone lamp on this side. I mean, everybody knows what this is, but in case you didn't, basically how it works is you can open the chest when the redstone block is on there, but if you try to put a lantern on there, you can't open the chest, therefore it's protected. And somebody's going to have to place a creeper right in between every time and blow up a chest. And to be honest, I think that's a really good idea because you don't have to really worry about anybody on the server because nobody has creeper eggs. Like, honestly, you can buy creeper eggs from the shop, like the actual donation shop, and it runs around $20 for 4 creeper eggs, which is pretty crazy considering $20 for 4 creeper eggs. 4 creeper eggs would probably get like this side, if that. So that's $20 down the drain, unless you get a rich kid in, you know, the server that pops up and just buys a million creeper eggs. You could also win them from savage crates. I will show you those in a second. I think they're totally pointless. I mean, if you want to donate some extra money to the server, you might as well just buy a cash pack or something. But honestly, savage crates are not worth it at all. Like, there was a glitch that happened the other, like, when it first started where you could duplicate iron golem spawners, and people were doing that like crazy. For the most part, the amount of IGs that were, you know, in the world, they pretty much gone down a lot. But for the most part, a lot of people still have them, and they also have the crazy amounts of bases and shit like that. So this is basically this is where you would set home, and then you would come in and just store your shit. I'm going to probably put, I don't know, maybe some, I don't know how I'm gonna like figure out what's what, but also, you know, now that I think about it, you might not want to tell them what's what. You might want to just memorize it, be like, okay, well, where I have my home set straight would be armor, this would be, you know, tools or whatever, this would be, I don't know, blocks, goods, whatever. I'm not gonna, that's not how it's actually gonna be like, but I'm just pointing out that if you have everything labeled, then people are gonna go straight for those, and if nothing's labeled, they don't know. There could be nothing in those chests for all they know. But the hoppers are in place. That's good. Up, way the fuck up there is where the IGs are gonna be. I'm not sure how I'm gonna make my AFK tape or my AFK pool or whatever, but I'll probably figure that out as I get up there. But like I said, IGs are super expensive. I'm gonna go ahead and go to spawn so you guys can see the spawn and everything. And just make sure you guys are on the right server, because I know every server has its own spawn. So this, when you log in, will be how it will be. It'll just say classic factions, yada yada yada. Pretty cool. And take note that the world border is actually a circular border, therefore you cannot actually get an entire corner. It's a circle, so there's a many corners, but I don't recommend building on the corner. People say that, oh, it's so good if you do that, because you only have to build 2 walls. But here's the thing, people can also use that against you and glitch through, because they can literally combat tag themselves, and then, well, they can get themselves combat tag, like via alt or something like that, and they can walk outside the world border for like a couple seconds. It'll glitch them outside. I don't know if that's patched yet, but I don't think it is. But if it's not, you can also use it by like pearl glitching. You can glitch into a base that only has 2 walls. But that's just my take on it. You guys can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's your decision. But let me go ahead and show you the Savage Crate, so you don't get sucked into buying one of these and wasting your $6 on something that you could have wasted it on something else. So here it is. This is the Savage Crate. You have a 50% chance of getting 64 logs. Keep in mind, this is a $6 crate. Even with the sale, it's $6, which is fucking outrageous, honestly. I mean, I get this is a classic factions, but come on, I'm sure that they can do better than this. Now, the only thing that is even worth anything is the creep eggs, and you get a 1% chance. That means you'd have to open like 100 of these crates to even get one. Probably. Most likely, you're probably going to open up 100 of them and maybe get 2 or 3. That's it. But that's like $600, and nobody's going to do that. Now you can get obsidian, a stack for 30% chance. That's $10,000. It's really pointless. That, you get in your kits, so it's really pointless. Bookshelves, are you fucking kidding me? Why would you add this in there? That's like 500. This is a good, I don't know, 160, something like that, maybe 280, something like that. Gold ingots, that's shit. This is shit. This is probably like, I don't know, 200. As you can see, golden apple is shitty, notch apple is shitty, and you only get 1, so it's like, what the fuck point is that? That's 1% chance. I'd rather get that. You can get a cow spawner for 0.5%. Thank you for putting that so low, because nobody would want that shit. Okay, and you can get a Silk Touch 1. They don't even put Unbreaking 3. They just leave it Silk Touch 1, which is fucking absolutely garbage. Here's my e-chest, just to show how fucking garbage it is. So I have all these gabs. It's really not that much. When I say all that, it's really not that much, honestly. I say it's, you know, it's a decent amount, because to buy a gap is about 56,000, because you always have to buy in gold ingot. Now these are a bunch of Prot 4 Unbreaking 3 sets. It kind of looks like OpCraft, like the OP factions, but it's not, because I just killed the people that got them. And how people are getting them so easy has to be the fact that they just grind their zombies, their skeletons, whatever. Here's a bunch of God Swords. I really like these. This is the only thing I PvP with, are these items here. And these are the 8 IGs that I have. And this is my Silk Touch 1 fit. But these heads, I'm not going to start collecting heads, but I did want to kind of start collecting like staff heads and stuff like that. So here we have Arnor the Bay. I don't know any of these people, to be honest, but I know they're staff, and that's all that matters. This is Latchland TV. I think that's a manager or something. I'm not really sure. This is the mod. This is an operator, I think, and this is the owner. So, as you can see, I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to try to get all of the staff heads. Even when they get demoted, I want to have all of the staff heads. I just think that would be awesome. I might even put a little area where I put staff heads in our base when it's done. But as for the defenses, work 2. I believe I have a home set up there. If I don't, if I just die, I'm going to be hella pissed. But let's see. Okay, so this is the top of our base. And we're actually doing pretty good when it comes to work and shit. So we have a hell of a lot of obby put into this base. The first I think it is 20 walls are obby. These are about 20 walls. In the first 20 walls we have obby, and then the rest will be all gen. And the thing is, these gen walls are going to literally go down to bedrock, because we're going to have them all trenched off and everything. They're not going to be sloppy ass walls where, you know, it just looks like shit. It's going to be like really nice. And as you can see, we have all these down to where it doesn't like fuck up or anything, where the water doesn't drain through. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be doing a full series on this server. I do work like a lot, so the amount of videos that I put up a day will not probably be like maybe 1 to 2 every other day, somewhere around there. It could be every day, it could be, you know, every other day. Honestly, it's just whenever I feel like putting something up. Now, but as you can see, the base is just phenomenal. It looks so badass, and when it gets all the gen walls, it's gonna look even better. Honestly, I don't know if I should just leave the gen walls going down and draining into the ocean, because that would just look, it would literally make my base look like a fucking monster. Like, whatever would be bigger than Titan, I don't know, but it would look amazing. Maybe it would be considered a Titan, I'm not sure. Tell me in the description what, or not the description, tell me in the comments, what is a Titan base? I'm just curious, like, what, define a Titan base. Does it mean you have to have gen walls? What does it mean? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace out.